Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Pele, the great soccer player. My friends, it is the same with the market. Success isn't an accident. It's your perseverance, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day, learning, studying, and loving what you're learning how to do. I love it. I do this every day. I do it for free for you. People ask me all the time, Tom, why do you do this? What benefit do you get? And I'll tell you, the benefit I get is, of course, all the friends that I make that listen to the show every day. You send me nice little missives. You appreciate me. That is wonderful. When I get to meet you guys in person, that is fabulous. But you know, I am forced, because I do this show every day, to be in the market every day, to pay attention to all these things, to think about what I'm seeing and to articulate it. And that is worth millions of dollars to me. It is worth countless dollars to me. Satisfaction, enjoying what I'm doing, trading, everything. I just love it, and I wouldn't miss a single day. That's why I'm here with you every day. I'm the one who gets the biggest benefit from all this because I am in the market each and every day, learning, teaching, doing. Now, let's talk about these charts. We had pull-ups on both our S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100. I did have questions for you. You guys have heard me say this before. And again, there's all sorts of things that you can do. I know that this is the summertime trading zone. We have talked about how crappy the summertime trading zone can be. Why? Because there doesn't tend to be a lot of volume in the marketplace. When we look at the volume that we see today, we can see that volume is right there at the average. But again, for the summertime, volume goes substantially down. And what we see happening is, of course, at the end of the day, the volume did decrease. It increased when we jumped into this down move. Then it stalled. Then it jumped down again. Then it actually stalled. And then what did it do this morning? Popped up. And then about the same in the afternoon, but it went into the negative on the green. Now, there were those of you who said, Tom, if you just would have done one time instead of two times, since it's the summertime and since things can zip around, you know, you can always set different levels. I would just show you what you would have missed here. The 3.25%. Did we lose 1.1? It was less than 1.6. It was about 1.58, something like that. Did you lose that? Yes, you did. But again, if you look at it in the aggregate, as we talk about on and on and on, if you use the profit and loss bands, if you seek the 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you will be winning if, again, you just win 4 out of 10. That's why I urge you to please, I've gone over these numbers. How did we do the first 6 months of the year on the S&P? 5.27%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. Of those 1, 2, 3, 4 of them did not work. The ones that worked gave us the 5.27 minus the ones that didn't work. The NASDAQ 100, even better. 11.15%, TLT 5.34%. So again, I'm telling you, just do this, just practice, just prove it to yourself. Now we see the half day is up in the green, the 2-day is up in the green, of course, both of them below the 200 EMA. The weekly is still in the red, it is above the 200 EMA. And of course, we'll continue to watch, pay attention. We have that 2-day working against us. We talked about that before we jumped into that trade. So again, we weren't in a perfect 15 going down. So again, can make you a little bit trepidatious. You know, you might adopt certain ways of reducing the size that you hope to gain selling half your position. That's why I keep telling you, and that would be at 1 ATR, but it's up to you. And you'll only learn the nuances if you practice trade these things each and every day. Just spend 10 to 15 minutes with us. Now, very similar with The NASDAQ 100, it too popped up in the morning. We can see where, excuse me, in the morning, we upped a little bit in volume, decreased there in the afternoon, round about the same area. Again, NASDAQ is very similar to the S&P. It is up on the 2-day, down on the weekly. So now we are only at minus 10 on the success multiplier formula. So we pulled that trade, took a small loss there. So again, it is all right. We will do what the charts tell us, and in the aggregate, they will work for us. And it is so important that you pay attention to your profit and loss bands. The one thing they will teach you that kills traders more than anything else is the inability to cut their losses. This forces you to do that. And by doing that, you will thereby succeed. You will see over and over and over again. Give it a shot, practice, trade it. It will prove itself to you. Let's go to 20-year bonds. Where are they? They are in the green on the STC. They're still well below the 200 EMA there. Still well below the 200A, but in the green on the 2-day, and on the weekly, like the S&P and the NASDAQ 100, still down. But 3 weeks of up movement didn't reach the highs of the prior week. So again, we'll continue to keep an eye on bonds. If they do turn down strong, great, we'll jump in and short them. If they continue to move up, then we'll be waiting for a crossover of the 200 EMA so we can ride that gravy train. Now, let's move on from bonds and go to gold. I hope you're applying what we're teaching you to your favorite stocks and other ETFs. It's all about you developing your own trading plan, you developing your own stocks and ETFs that you track and practice trade. Gold down again. It's the only downer for the day, 0.20%. And of course, we can see that the volume very light at the end of the day, not just up to the average during the day. So again, gold, ending somewhere around that 158 mark or so. When's gold going to reach a bottom? I don't know. The nice thing about gold, unlike companies, unlike Bitcoin, which is, of course, a new technology, gold has been around as a commodity for thousands and thousands of years, since the first humans found it and said, wow, this is beautiful. Look, it doesn't rust. Look, it's malleable. Look, it looks great on a necklace or a ring. So again, gold has intrinsic value, and it never goes to zero. So we'll continue to watch and track it. When it moves around, we'll be ready to go. It's negative on the half day. It's negative on the 2-day. Now we're talking about where things are on the STC at the bottom of the screen, and it's negative on the weekly. Again, this week touching that 200 EMA. I'm hoping it'll bounce off that. And at some point, gold will start rising, and we will be ready to jump in. What do we see? And again, that's for your practice trades. We're not a gold calling or stock calling or Bitcoin or cryptocurrency calling service. We're an education firm. Where do we see Bitcoin? Well, somewhere around, bouncing off that 18.53, so 5.2 mark. This is on our favorite VanEck ETF. It's a Bitcoin strategy ETF. It is a short-term future ETF. And of course, it's traded in it all over the place. I mean, it's just traded in the open market. You don't have to go to a crypto exchange that could go bankrupt or any other thing in order to buy it. And again, I have actually personally bought and sold this back when Bitcoin was going up. I own 0 of it now, and I'm not about to jump into it until I see some substantial change there. Up for the day, 2.99% when we look overall at where Bitcoin is, well below that 200 EMA. Now we look at the 2-day, where is it there? Of course, it's still well below. And we look at the weekly, and of course, we see where things are pegging around that bottom, somewhere around the 1827 mark. Now, when we look at Bitcoin, I do want, to give you the caveat that we are Again, hoping that Bitcoin's going to bottom at some point, that it's going to move up, and consequently the remainder of the crypto market. And I will tell you, you see, most of the time we're initiating trades when we see the STC go from red to green. We're not doing that in Bitcoin, partially because you can see how highly inaccurate and unworking it is. What is that about? Well, that really has to do with this sideways slide that we had for quite a while and just did not make itself, did not make it easy for us to find any potential Bitcoin trades. And look at the fluxing of the volume here. So again, all of it's pretty crazy. We're darn sure going to wait for that to sort itself out before we look at jumping into anything with Bitcoin. That is where we are, folks. I so appreciate you being with us. Patreon members, thank you for all your support. We did do a lot for you this week. We gave you the Charting Crypto. We had the live question and answer call-in session that we do once a month, going over the stocks, ETFs you want us to help you backtrack along with answering your questions. If you're not a Patreon member, it's a good reason to become one, just that alone. Plus, you get the Charting Crypto early every week, plus you get the 20 weekly vertical crossovers, plus you get all of the special trainings, including charting, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way, our 3-part series, free to our Patreon members at any of the 3 support levels. My friends, so appreciate you being with us. We always love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out and write us, cw@chartingwealth.com. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth, World Headquarters.